And we're live now, so welcome to the show.
What we tell you about going to Thailand like that, Bill?
I kept my mouth shut.
No.
That doesn't help, though.
That was too easy. That was a free throw. Don't even take it.
I didn't put anything in my mouth, so.
You're not helping.
I just want to know, you guys know, like, apparently there's an award show the other night on TV. I definitely won something. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so let's get into this. Scorched Earth, March 7th through 9th.
I've heard of it.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Any new wrinkles that's going to be a little bit different from previous games at that time?
Oh, yeah. We are adding something to the game that we've been working on for 2 years to get it right. And I can't let too much out of the bag because I want you to find it and have to interact and deal with it. But something that I've been trying to add to the game and wanted to do, then we've been slowly building towards. Because as you see, each year we kind of add a new element to what's going on with the game with the mineral, and then became water, and then the water and the mineral and bioweapon, and kind of growing it along that path. We're always writing the game like 3 years ahead, and then that way we know where we want to go, so we know what we got to we better put this in here now because it'll make more sense 2 years from now when we do the thing that we have this in here now. And they may not totally get why it's here now, but they will.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So we have an element that's going to be part of the game. It's going to be a big part of the game, actually. Hey. And
he's back.
and he's back.
I guess the internet wasn't great.
Finally got it perfected enough that we're going to give it a run. It's going to be a nice, fun part of the game.
Okay. A question I've been getting a lot is, what are those green people called now?
The Char.
Okay.
Yeah.
Old beat up piece of shit.
Yeah. I named it. It's not based on other things going on. It's not a trademark thing. It's the thing we decided to call them.
We don't have to go any further.
Yeah.
We don't have to go any further.
The Char.
The Char. I just want to know who I'm going to curse at when I'm shooting at him.
Yeah. No. And then with all the game names, that was a respect thing. That was something that could have been gone a different direction, and it was just a respect thing to freshen the names and things like that, which is funny because it was actually something that the original owner of CPX, when I was still working with him, he was actually talking about doing that. We were going to actually refresh all the game names over the next, like, a 2-year period. We were going to change all the game names because they were starting to become numbered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The original one, and I don't want to throw the names out there and start any hoo-ha with it, but basically the original one was on like number 17. And at a certain point, we wanted to like freshen it up. So we had actually had these big discussions about wanting to rename all the games and just kind of freshen the overall brand. So at a certain point, it actually kind of worked out really well.
That's awesome. I got a great game in mind.
Cool.
Please don't.
I'll sell it to you on the real cheap.
Please don't.
I think you're the only man that can pull it through.
Okay.
Please don't.
Lay it on me.
It's the Battle of STDs. It refreshes every year.
So it's like Ben, no matter what kind of medicine we take, he keeps coming back.
Yeah.
I think the most important question would be, who else bought Trump coin?
You bought a Trump coin? Or is like
the crypto.
The crypto,
Yes,
okay.
crypto.
Does that
Who
mean
else
you're
bought
going to
the
be buying from now on?
I lost a lot of money, but
Yeah. All I'm saying is, after I got the Hawk Tua girl rip my heart out.
well, you should have seen that one coming. But the Trump coin, I was like, I'm gonna jump on this just in case. Like there's a possibility that the Trump coin goes to the moon overnight. It was worth like $36 billion at one point. I'm like, But yeah, I didn't make any money. I lost money, so it's cool. Yeah.
You don't lose till you sell. But anyway, let's get back to Scorched Earth.
We had an addition here. We got the Red General over there now on screen.
What's up,
Mr. Johnny
Johnny?
Christensen.
How y'all doing?
How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's 3 weeks away.
I know.
It seems
Time
like it's
flies.
here, and now all of a sudden it's here.
Like I'm sitting there talking to Tim though, and I'm like, yeah, I got plenty of time. I got this because he's like talking about paint and everything. I'm like, I got plenty of time, dude. Like, I started looking at the calendar. I got 3 weeks. Shit.
That's how it is, man. Like it seemed like the longest off season ever for me, and I'm just like, come on, let's get to a game. And it's great because we got so much going on, so we've had a lot to work on. But like, you guys will get it because you guys have been on kind of both sides of production. When you write the games, you really want to. It's like you want to get to. I almost want to fast forward to Sunday afternoon and see how it all turned out. If that makes sense. Like I don't care who wins or loses at any room. I want to see how they got played, what happened, how people interacted, and what the result was. Like reading the last chapter of a book, kind of thing. I just want to sort of know how it turns out.
Yeah, like, that was always the best part about when I was producing games. Like I was like, nobody complained about it, or not many people complained about it. I'm good. I'm like, all right, let's see some feedback on this stuff. The feedback was the best thing.
Well, yeah, and look at the people that we have involved with our stuff. Like the best part about our friend group is if it's good, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. And they're not doing it they're doing it in a, hey man, if you did it like this, people would have loved it. Let's do that. So we talk about that a lot. I'm even doing that when it comes to I've already got a little group of people I'm starting to kind of learn in that airsoft world where I'm like, when I run this first game, it's my first one of doing this. I want the brutal truth afterwards. What'd you like? What didn't you like? And whoa. What is this? Do you still plan to do your opening battle idea for Myrtle Beach game? You'll see.
That's a good answer. I like it.
That means prepare your anus because the fucking is about to take place. Okay?
If it helps at all, we have looked at the ever-increasing size of cannons for the game. And how long before we're going to need certain permits.
If it's Myrtle Beach, you don't need permits. Just do what you want.
Yeah, you
lost in the voting pretty loose.
Yeah, like the amount of people getting like almost murdered when we were down there in Myrtle Beach was just such a great thing.
Okay,
like
all right.
Literally came back from the clubs at 5 o'clock in the morning, woke up at 7 a.m. and Reaper's outside on the patio looking at something. Like, hey, Reaper, what you looking at? 7 a.m. on a Sunday, a guy across the street got stabbed by his girlfriend, and then she tried to run him over with a car.
That's love right there.
Right.
Yeah, there were three ambulances, the fire truck ambulance out there, 2 detectives, and like 9 cop cars all out there. Like they locked her up quick.
Sounds exciting.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of old, so like a lot of that stuff happens while I'm in bed.
Our whole weekend,
I feel left out.
Right?
The whole weekend was fun.
I think it's okay to be left out of that.
Nah.
I think so. I think you made out okay, kid.
I think the excitement of Myrtle Beach adds to the game. Like especially certain weeks like Mustang week or like bike week or whatever. If you do them in those weeks, it gets even more fun. There's a possibility you might not make it back.
We joke all the time, like we've been here now for both spring and fall bike week already, and we've managed to be out of town for both. Like, not an accident. Like, you guys do your whole thing, have your whole hootenanny. I'm gonna get on my bike and I'm going west. I'm out of here.
He said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
I've been going this game for a few years, and I've almost been arrested at least twice. So
And you know what AU means? It means run.
You almost got arrested at paintball games twice?
Yeah.
Outside of the paintball games, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Splat Brothers, they called the cops on me because I was questioning their potable water.
Okay.
I've never been almost arrested at a game.
That is the lamest thing to almost get arrested for.
They had signs up everywhere, no arguing with staff and stuff, which I understand that. But I specifically went to the owner and I had a conversation with him one-on-one. I was like, hey man, you have all these people here and you don't have one avenue of potable water. And he's like, well, they can buy water in there. I was like, you're not getting it, buddy. You're supposed to provide water. And one of the people in the booth saw me talking with the guy and they picked up the phone and just called the cops right then. So I told the promoter, I was like, look, I'm taking me and my 45 guys and we're leaving. So I started to walk off and the guy hollered at me and then he come over and stormed over me and stood over me. He's like, you quit us, we quit you. And I was like, well, whatever that means. So I had to go. Yeah, I had to go back to the dead zone, throw my disabled dad, who I hauled to the game with me in a wheelchair. I was like, Dad, we got to go. They called the cops on me. And then throwed all my shit and drove down the road and changed out of my gear. So I've never been back to Splat Brothers since.
Dude, Ben, you would have had to make us like free bill T-shirts and everything. Like, and then the back would have been just like a big water buffalo, water wagon.
And Rob, that background only works if you have like a green screen behind you. You look all weird as shit right now.
I'm fucking moving you, cocksucker. I'm sorry. Anyway,
so I'm gonna say we're talking about getting arrested, but we're a very respectable podcast. I have booze in a crystal decanter, so that shows how classy we are. We're very classy. It goes well.
I turn my head so you can't see what I'm drinking.
It goes very well with my classy trophy. So yes, we're good now. We are a very classy show. Like this show will not go off the rails ever. We will only talk about paintball and no other subjects ever, like normally every other show.
Well, one bit of information, we're going to switch up some of the nighttime stuff on when we do it. We are now going to do the night mission that everybody has a good time doing with the glow sticks. And at the same time, that's when we're also going to be doing the American Gladiator up at the main building. So that way, since everybody's already up there running that mission, we're going to kind of go from dodgeball night mission into the American Gladiator thing where everybody's up there together. And then Saturday night, we're going to do a bonfire on the north end of the camping area, kind of like where they do the stuff.
Yeah, to the right of the pond, right?
Right. Well, no, not that one. If you pull into camping and you just kind of go past where everybody kind of turns off to the right to camp, you just kind of go straight past where they do their airsoft CQB. There's what they call the barn, which is out there. And
the booty barn.
Here it is. And we're going to have a DJ out there and have music going and have, there's actually going to be that he found a person that comes with their own liquor license and has their own portable bar.
Ooh.
That will be out there and all that stuff.
That's all you had to say. So
that's the best improvement I've ever heard, and that has definitely got me excited right now.
I figured you dig it. So it'll be music and it's going to be able to be very casual. It's going to be something that even if anywhere you aren't camping, because last time we ran into we made the big bonfire fire, and then the problem was people camped right up around it.
Yep.
And so instead of messing with that, nobody camps all the way back in that little spot. It's on cement, so people can cruise over there in their golf carts or whatever else that they happen to choose. And it's all lit up, and it's already got, everything we need to have a nice little lit up music party without it being, turn on the spotlights and stuff like that. So it'll be
Nice.
Good shit.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Like,
any more construction been at the field? Any more building on the field? Any?
Yes.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
So, like I was telling these guys earlier, I would say that the field is 80% built in just what they're going to ever put on the field for like full size. This is this field, this is that field, so on. There's still some room. We were talking about something we're going to do up in the northeast corner of it at some point, but we're at a lot of times we have one new build, completely new build. They built a small castle with a moat around it and a cemetery near it and some things that you'll interact with that. I don't want to get that out too much. That's kind of, if you come in off of camping and you're facing the field from camping, you'll go to your left, so it's out towards that area. Between where that is and where some of the other features out that way, where there was just a lot of woods and there wasn't much to hide behind besides trees. So Nate seeded the entire thing with different shapes and builds of concrete to give people, make it a more fightable position coming from out in that direction. And then we started what I call the Disney decorating stage of the field, where something that is already there and cool, and we already like it, and now we're going to make it better and more, draw you into the theme more. If the field is the mining complex, the next thing you're going to know, you're going to start seeing, mining looking machines, and maybe there's going to be, carts with piles of rock in it, you know what I mean? And just start to do that Disney thing where if you ever walk through Disney, you don't notice all the details, but there isn't a single thing in Disney property that isn't put there specifically for a reason, to draw you in, kind of thing, and make it more, absorbing for you. So you just really just get all the way into the theme and the idea of it. That's what we're starting to do with the field over the next couple of years up there.
Nice.
And
I like
something to do with those long tube things that you've seen. Nate put some pictures up, and myself. Once we can show you the completed project, we will.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. Anytime that a field always puts effort into it, they're there for the brothers.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into that field.
Yeah. Nate's second to none. My refs, you know how well we interact with Sola, and they're a major part of, a lot of the decisions we make, because whenever something comes up, the very first thing I do is I get a hold of them, like, okay, how do we score this? Like, if they can't score it, we can't do it. We have to kind of have a pass fail on whatever new idea we have. So they've been fantastic with ideas, and they had done a suggestion like yesterday, I think it was, about the way we could do something. I brought it to Nate with could you do this? And then, if what I asked was a 5, Nate's like, hey, here's my idea of how we'll take it to 15, and I'll have it done in time for the game, because it's Nate, and that's just what he does.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, we were asking for a very simple thing to do, and Nate's like, no, let's do this, and it'll be so much better. And it's
Somebody
like
does that
hours
pretty
on a machine. I got it. Like, so.
Nate's fucking awesome. Nate,
When you work with
the
right?
Black Ops staff is awesome.
Yeah, when you work with a field owner like that always takes whatever you suggest to him and just goes 10 times what you asked. I used to tease him. I'm like, he used to do things and want to surprise me with them. Hey, I expanded the parking lot and took this whole little corner of the field, and that's gone now, and now it's parking lot. Great. I have missions that are going to that third car there now. I'm at the game on Friday rewriting submissions because he wanted to surprise me with this cool new more parking thing one time, and so on. The year that we went from leaving the main city to the new base that's on the south side, that was, I literally I wrote 2 full games. Because he said he was making the base down there, and it would have electric and air and everything we needed. But within a week of the game, it wasn't quite complete yet. Yeah. So I had 2 completely different versions of the game written, just depending on where the south side was going to start. And I didn't know which one we were running until he called me and said, it's got air, it's got electric, we can use it. Like 2 or 3 days before the game. I'm like, okay, so we're using game number 2.
Quick question.
Yes.
Will there ever be a time where we do a homage to the old school and play it on Pipe's Final Battle?
Maybe. Maybe what it might look, based on the amount of people we have, it might be more of like a dinner battle kind of thing. And we've sort of worked that in the last couple of years, where we move your inserts kind of all the way in Ambush Alley and then all the way at the bottom part of it. And then those 3 flags just sort of score that for half an hour in there. So it's sort of like a dinner battle. The problem is we just have too many people to put them in that spot. Nobody be able to move anywhere. And it wouldn't be fun. That'd be 800 people in a very tiny shoebox. We got to give you a little room to move.
I mean, I self-identify as a tank, so it's all right.
How many people are you expecting this year?
right now the numbers look like we're going to be right around 800 people again. Like we shouldn't have much. So should be, we maxed out that 1 year right after COVID at 1,000. And that was a lot of people just, I'm getting out and doing its thing. And then we kind of settled right in that like 850 mark is what it's been the last 2 years. And the numbers are currently trending that exact same way. You never know. There's a couple more games out there that didn't exist last year. And, this is still a new production company, technically, running.
It's a new old production company.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like a couple variables have changed, so you never quite know. But as of right now, the tracking that we've done since we've been going there is saying we're going to be right around 800 players.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And if anybody's watching that doesn't know like what the field looks like sometimes it's hard to find based on GPS, but like it's the best field.
River Road.
Yeah, the best field I've been to. Like the camping, everybody's always like, "What's camping like?" Camping's ridiculous. Like it's got the most camping you'll ever see at any game. Like there are reserve spots. Certain people have reserve spots, but like there is so much open space out there that you can literally just show up and you find your place to spot.
The funny part about that is like we really only use like maybe 36% of the total camping available.
100%. Like it's almost there's maybe 2 rows past the pond, and it goes all the way past the end of the field that way, and then there's still all that area that can go even further north if we wanted to. Like we could legitimately put 2,000 people on not the field itself and in the camping, and people would still have room to move. It's just again, it's I say it all the time, and I'll never stop. Working with Nate is a blessing. I've worked with other people before that aren't as always easy to roll with, and things don't always go as easy. But you got a guy like Nate, and all Nate wants to do is have everybody leave on Sunday with the biggest grin on their face, like that was, and go tell everybody like that was the coolest paintball weekend I had in my life.
And like the cool thing about the camping is like it actually has certain areas have electrical and water hookups. Like you don't see that at other fields either.
There's even more now.
Yeah, there's even more to it now.
Some fields charge you money to camp at their spot, but they don't provide anything for you.
Right.
Nate, no,
We're
like,
not
hey,
saying no names.
it's free.
And the shuttles.
Here's you some water.
And he provides the shuttles for free.
A testament to who he is. The first year we had the shuttles, he was driving it. And when we were telling people who didn't know who he was, they're like, "Oh, dude, that shuttle driver, he's a ride. He was cracking us up. Everybody's having a great time and all this." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the owner." Then people are like, "Get out of here." The owner's driving the shuttle. I'm like, "Yeah, an important job needed to get done." He turned and looked and went, "Well, everybody's doing something but me. I'll drive the shuttle." Like, who does that?
He doesn't walk around. He doesn't walk around like, "Hey, I'm the owner. I'm the owner." Like some of the other owners do. Like some of the owners, as soon as you step on the field, you know who the owner is because they like to let you know who they are. He doesn't do that.
No. No, it's fantastic, and with the different things he keeps doing, him and Eric keep doing to the field, and their staff is fantastic. We actually have a couple members of Solaw that are now working at the field. Yep. So
shout out to Jebediah and Asher.
Yeah, so you got 2 really good high-level referees that are there, and they're working with the staff, hand in hand to teach them scenario stuff, and then in turn work together to make everything that they do there better and smoother and all that. And you got Josh, who is the mad scientist in the welding shop and comes up with some crazy things. They literally bought a Connex and turned it into, I believe a 3-stall individual private stall bathroom.
Nice.
So we'd have more actual sit-down, nice, flushable toilets at the property for events. They had plenty, and outhouses work great. And we keep them cleaner than anybody else in the world. They get cleaned every single day at 5:30 in the morning, and it costs a ton of extra money. But when you wake up, you walk in there, and it is clean as a whistle, and it starts your day out right. Yep. And Nate's went, "Yep, but we could have flushable ones too, which are even better." And so he went and did that.
Yeah,
So it's really
a
cool.
lot of fields won't do that for you. They'll charge you to camp, but they won't do anything extra like that. And it's
Yeah.
not,
Or if you want your own porta-john, you have to reserve one and pay for it.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
if you wanted that, we would probably do the same thing if you wanted to be able to like throw a lock on it and it's just for your team. But we could help you get that accomplished. And because we'd be buying in bulk as a group, you'd still get it at a better deal than if you were just calling yourself. It's kind of like the one of the things he's probably going to end up doing in the future because of the camping and where it is and everything going on. He's already talked about potentially buying a fleet of golf carts and then renting them out at events because of there's just what's the demand before there's the demand, if that makes sense. Get ahead of the demand before people start really going, it would be great. I mean, this is what we just did.
I don't know if that's a great idea because, like, I know paintball players, and I know paintball players when they play with other people's toys. Yeah, we got golf carts in the pond. Oh, yeah,
We did that up at Hales. We made that possible at Hales with the golf carts, and they really liked that.
Yeah, and like that's the beauty of the way this community works is so many different people from so many different places are all trying to give people the very best experience that they can at their individual field. And you can share ideas. I mean, when Marie and Byron's going to be one of our XOs, when they first got the field, they had asked a ton of stuff, right down to where did we get our player IDs made? Because they'd never bought player IDs before. And if you haven't done that, it's not like, you just immediately know where to go. And so there's a lot of sharing of information amongst the field owners and even other producers on things. Red Feather has been somebody that I've seen something that he's done and been like, if I don't copy it exactly, but do sort of like this, do you mind if I do that? Because that was a great idea. And vice versa. Ryan Sexton has done stuff that I've done at my games, at his games. It's actually a surprisingly cool community. As long as you kind of touch base with each other, most people don't seem to have a real problem if you're, one big happy family, sort of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. And like the innovation thing is cool because like I remember playing paintball in North Carolina for a while, and like our ID cards were like pieces of paper that just said name on it. And then Jason Mann actually started a trend of actually getting cards here, like printing out cards. And then everybody's like, okay, well, they're doing it, so we got to do it. So everybody's starting stepping their game up. So when one producer like innovates the new product, the other one's like, yeah, we need to do it too. It just makes everything better from that point on.
Somebody makes the patches themselves. Everybody now makes the patches themselves.
Right, there you go.
Yeah,
and look what it does. It allows somebody to take something like that and keep a collection. I've seen a bunch of people that collect all their cards like that.
Yeah, I got one over here in the corner here too. But like I say, when we first started playing, it was just like they would go to their printer, print it out, cut it. Here's your ID card, or they would give you like a ribbon or a zip tie. Here you go. You're on the game. But then like, it's nice knowing. Hey, look, I got cards of mine that I don't remember going to the game, and I'm like, I don't know where I remember the name of the game. I don't know what field I was at, but I was there. So it's cool nostalgia. But
yeah, and like once you realize that as a producer, the players can set the bar for you too. Like when we did the COVID dreaded game at the time, which is now Black Flag, we did that one. The cards arrived Monday after the game that we ordered. Yeah. Even though we ordered them a month before the game, they arrived the Monday after the game. And we went through the pre-reg list and we sent every single person that was on the pre-reg list their card.
That's awesome.
It cost us like $200 in, postage.
Yeah.
But they got their cards. That will, as a business, that effort on our part will pay off tenfold in respect.
Yep, for sure.
And so do it. Of course we're going to do that. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's nice though. Like some people are just in it because like they're in it just because they're in it. Some people are just in it for money, and like, they don't really put their effort into it. And like it's nice seeing like there's effort put in to make people happy. Like it's nice. That's all I can say. It's a nice thing. But speaking. And I was getting ready to go to him, like, so I can like start talking about recruiting a little bit. But anyway, so speaking of the owners of Black Ops, are all of you guys coming to to kill switch engage in April? Eric said he wants to go.
If Eric says we're going, we're going. Basically, how this works is you have Lonnie, Nate, Eric, and me. And Nate and I are a lot alike, so we're kind of scatterbrains, constantly working on our particular craft. And the two of them are behind the scenes, literally picking up everything we happen to wander by, lost as crap. Him and I are the ones looking in the fridge, can't find the ketchup, and they're the ones that made sure ketchup's in there, if you know what I mean. They're both fantastic at organizing us. So Nate says or Eric says we're coming, we're coming.
It's gonna be in Raleigh in April. I'll send you some information later. But yeah, Flip's going to come to his first heavy metal concerts. We're pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. Now, is this the same field that we came and played before?
No. This is a concert.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eric, I posted on Facebook. Eric didn't want to go with us. But yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Then he probably says we're going.
So
I just do what I'm told when it comes to that stuff.
I got Flip going, and Flip's like, I've never been to one before. I'm like, oh, you're gonna be excited. But it's like 11 days after my next surgery, so I can't get in the pit and really get violent or anything. So I'll be tame that day.
All right.
I'll be watching from the sidelines. I'll be there, but just kind of off to the side.
So, Mr. Johnny,
What's up?
All right.
We heard from Mark last time. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
I'm new to this, man. This is my 5th season playing Scenario. I had 1 year of playing XL. So all this is new to me. The only thing I know is the military side. I learned a lot from Dwan, though. He really did show me, a lot of shit. I mean, he didn't like write it down for me, but I watched him and I learned before I ever started this. So I'm not taking nothing away from him.
I attribute a lot of my success to Dewan Mitchell and Joe Perez and Hanu, and then just the wealth of knowledge that's embraced me, Mamba. It's real important to have those stewards of the game.
My first year was under Joe Perez, and then I went with the Nomads with D. So yeah,
all Joe needs is a bigger head.
Even with the older dudes like myself who've been around for a long time, I learned from. I was the guy who walked in, had no idea which end of the gun worked, and spending time with those guys, and they showed me the ropes. Like Kerry Viper, Viper was a huge influence on what we were doing, and like the owners of TPX. You got guys like Boogie who's out there doing his stuff, and like you meet Bud Orr and all those dudes. Like those were these like
Popeye.
Yeah, they were the gray beard guys when I was newer at it, and now looking in the pictures here, I'm just saying. If you ain't there yet, you're coming up hard on the outside. You know what I'm saying? You're right behind us.
Well, I'm learning, and you're the old dude now.
Right? See, but that's the way it goes, man. Like it's like a coaching tree. You know what I mean? Like they always talk about some famous coach like a Belichick, and then like every dude that is a head coach that came from his system. You know what I mean? It's the same idea. Like all how to play, how to vibe with people, stuff like that. Like Blue was one of the guys that taught me how to interact with people. Do you guys know who Blue is? Before I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
He moved down toward my way.
Yeah. So he had Blues Crew and stuff like that, and they were one of the most dominant teams and absolute like in all the magazine rock stars when I started. And they used to bring this entire like party compound. It was like 8 canopies set up. They had slushy machines go in. They brought a big screen TV that they'd hook an Xbox up to, and couches, and like the whole show. It was quite a thing. They'd make all kinds of food and just give it to people, and it was just their thing. And just watching him handle being well known, if that makes sense, was fantastic to watch how he did it and watch making sure that he gave people the right amount of time and stopped what he was doing and interacted with everybody. And that didn't matter too much when I was a player because we were just all players together, stuff like that. But once I started doing this job, it made sure that I made sure I paid enough attention to it's all about the feedback and the interaction with the players. And anybody can write a game. But to run a good game, it has to be a game that the players want, that will respond to it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can write anything that I think is awesome. We know a producer out there who has literally kicked people out of his game because they're not having fun right. They're not having fun his way. And I can't imagine thinking like that. It has to be the other way. If it ever can be a yes, it's going to be a yes out of me, unless it has to be a no because, Ben, insurance, no.
Small details.
Yeah, but let the players write the game. I came from being a player. Let the players, they know what they like and what they don't like. Don't try to tell them what they like. 90%. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's the way we did Day of the Rangers at Hales when I wrote Day of the Rangers. We had a baseline we started with, and after every event we got that feedback so we could tailor the game for the next times so that it would flow better and everybody had more fun, so no one got choked down and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's the same concept. Almost everybody in this room has either had it happen or will have it happen where there's a rule at a game because of something you did.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Yeah, the game that you did, you didn't cheat, but what you did screwed with the game legally. But
utilize the rules.
Next year, we probably shouldn't have that as an option because that really kind of disrupted everything. And that, as a player, is one of the coolest things you can have happen. It's quite a compliment because you found a flaw, so to speak. You exploited that flaw legally, and it helped you win. And if they have to make a rule so you can't go out there and dominate the same way again, you nailed it. So it's the same thing with writing the game. Put it out there on the players to kind of dictate what kind of game do they want.
Well, I can't wait to have all the new rules next year because of me. That's gonna be so great.
Oh, we have rules for you.
We're gonna do some better stuff this year.
There's the published rules, and then there's the appendix A, B, and C for Ben.
But you can't break the rules if you don't read them. That's just the way it works.
There you go. If you don't read the rules, I guess you can't technically break them. Terrible. DJ
the domination game up near Chicago, your first game at that field.
It'll be the first game I ever produced at that field. I've probably played 20, 25 games there as a player. I played there before Virgil even owned it, kind of thing. The current owner, who's owned it for a really long time now, I actually got to play there before him, and he's a very Nate-like owner when it comes to that kind of stuff because when we played there, we had a terrible experience when it was before Virgil. It was terrible. There was barbed wire on the field and broken glass everywhere, and they just the previous owner did not take care of it at the right level. And actually, I mentioned Viper actually was going to run a game there and got a hold of me to get a hold of my team that I was on at the time. Hey, we really want you to come. He was literally calling people to try to get him to come to this game specifically because a lot of people had bad experiences, and I'm really glad he did. The field was night and day difference on the maintenance, and the lawn was mowed. Just clear details that somebody that gave a crap bought this place. And watching what Virgil has done for all these years to keep a property like that he got when it wasn't in the best condition to start with and salvage it, I guess is a better way to say it than anything, and turn it into it's a fantastic place to play. Anybody that's going to be able to come, if you haven't been there before, you will leave this is a really cool place. It's a retired
waiver
missile base.
We signed the waiver. We knew we were getting ourselves into.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel this year with there being no real meme war?
There really wasn't a meme war. You're right.
Tried.
Stuff like that, it has to be organic like anything else. Last year, the year before it kind of got going. Last year was fantastic. I was actually at the point where I was going to make a meme war page because there's a certain amount of people that don't dig it and other people love it. And who am I to be the fun police? You know what I mean? You guys met my guideline. It had to be PG-13 or cleaner. But other than that, hot dog water each other for all I care as long as you want to. What do I care? I'm not here to tell you how to have fun.
I blame B-Rad for the whole Be More dying. because he jumped in early. I was like, "Hey, join this meme more page instead of posting here," and it just kind of took all the wind out of everything. So
I miss
Typical
we need B-Rad move.
hater behavior.
I miss the PB junkie days of smack talking on those boards.
Sure. You know, and that's it. Like,
Sure.
these things kind of come and go. You know what I mean? And it depends on kind of who's in it. Johnny is a fantastic guy, but he's kind of reserved. He kind of measures himself on what he puts out there. And in the right crowd, he could be the worst.
Oh, I can be an asshole.
Yeah, he could be the worst.
I'm an asshole.
Right circumstance.
I'm about to say,
But I'm a good boy, though.
You spend lots of time. I've watched you. You spend lots of time just kind of watching the room and just kind of reading the room and what's going on with it. You're very methodical that way. It's one of the reasons I thought you'd be good at this commanding thing, because there's going to be times where watching the entire room of people around you is important. There's also going to be times where you're going to have to go out there and go all Johnny on them and get your crew motivated that way. And that's how that works. And
Not
the
me,
ones that can
full
find
send.
that balance are the ones that are successful.
For me, it's full send all the time.
Well, yeah.
And Rob likes to mention me as the example of making offensive memes. But all I gotta say is, I have never been banned from Facebook due to a meme on the old pages. I've been banned for other shit, but never for a meme on those pages. My shit, my had an art to it. It was like, go to that little line, but don't go over it. Just go right there. Rob's like, no, we're gonna go all stupid and like say the exact words that you gotta say on Facebook to get banned every time. Oh,
Hey,
I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you next game. Banned. Why'd I get banned? Comes back 2 months later. I'm gonna shoot you. Gets banned again. Why am I getting banned for? I'm an idiot.
Walt's another one who's very creative in the way he memes or says things in a way that doesn't get him banned. But he definitely is like, oh man, that one's rough.
Hey, you can play on Reddit anytime you want to. We like assholes.
I mean, that's the thing. Like I never want to be the fun police. I actually tried to get one of my friends to make me a shirt that says "I am not the fun police."
I mean, I can make.
I like fun people.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own brand of fun, and if it's not hurting anybody, why are we messing with it?
Exactly.
Like Rob's avatar. Who doesn't need an orangutan flipping somebody off? I mean,
If you ask me, it's an improvement.
oh wow, here we go.
Like there are a lot of people that participate.
Love you,
in the
brother.
meme war.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
There's a lot of people that participate in the meme war. They're like, we got to know just because of the meme war. Like with 800,000 players on the field, you don't really get to meet everybody. But like the meme war actually brought
Shout
people
out to the GOAT.
like we know
Ariel
certain
Mendez.
people. Yeah, Asriel Mendez. Nobody had known who he was until he made some really awful memes that didn't make any sense. Now everybody knows that guy's name.
Right.
But like,
and what did we do? The group page was allowed to have memes on it, but like the event page, I asked you not to put them on the event page. So that way, when I had somebody who's like, I'm just trying to find out like the schedule, man. I can't find it because there's no junks on here. I'm like, I appreciate that. Just go to this link. This link is just game info. This is just, game posters, the map, the pertinent information. If you just want information, if you're looking for the general tenor of the society that you are going to interact with, well, that's the other page, and you've been warned. You've been warned.
Well, anytime somebody makes a meme about me, no matter what it is, I feel personally offended, so I have to attack back. That's just the way it works. Like I don't care.
Ben. We send one meme your way, and then you have 7 in 10 minutes.
I had to show dominance. Damn it!
Maybe he needs a hug.
No.
It's just
No,
like
I hug him every time I see him, and he's still like this.
it's like Beetlejuice, man. You said my name. I was minding my own business. You said my name. Now I'm here. Now I got like wreak havoc.
Said no person ever interacting with Ben.
I have no free time, but I was like, I will have free time for this. I am definitely.
Priorities.
Your nose grew a little. You know that?
I got this much free time during the day.
We see.
But I make time for things I like. Damn it. That's my problem. If I like something, I make time for it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do the registration for the ones that were at the last event, Black Ops. We're gonna do the registration in the little trailer now. That's gonna be right next to the building, up towards the front, so you'll be able to see it. So Lonnie will be in the trailer. So, and Rob, what does it mean when Lonnie puts her glasses on her head?
Shut the fuck up.
There it is. Lonnie approves.
And also, another tip for dealing with Lonnie. If she has her glasses up here and her hand is in her snack, it's going to be some kind of cereal. Tread carefully. This is not the time to try to make a statement.
Yeah, you guys all get a little window into my marriage. Most of the time, she's happy and smiling. But if the glasses go on the head and you hear and the shoulders drop, just back out slowly, carefully, because she knows how to fight. I took her to classes. She's legit. You're not getting attacked, hon. It's a healthy fear respect thing.
I think we're gonna start to see you off right and make sure everybody's aware of the rules.
There you
so
go.
They can be forewarned. So whatever happens, happens. You signed the waiver, motherfucker.
Well, and like last year, we did instead of trying to get everybody to come up to the main building because it's such a distance, we did the 2 opening briefs thing. And since she's right there, I had her do the front one. And she seemed shocked that I sent all of the photographers and all of the video guys there to do hers.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course. Nobody needs to see a picture of me talking to anybody. That's not entertaining.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she nailed it.
She always does.
I may have been drinking when I went registration, so I don't.
We don't say that.
Again, I'm not the fun police.
Look, Rob, you come up there with your damn Diet Cokes one more damn time, and you're not gonna fight. Like Rob pretends he's a partier, but then like the entire weekend he's got a damn Diet Coke in his hand. Or he'll be like, "Hey, we're going out to the club tonight. We're going to call you to go." And like, he never calls you, but somehow he went to the club and had an amazing time, but nobody saw him there.
I blame Henny.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my glass always smells like coconut rum. I'll leave it there.
I blame Henny. It's all Henny's fault.
Rob.
Huh?
I need some more of that delicious stuff you made us for my coffee.
You got it.
Dude, she put that in her coffee like for a month.
So
That's
good.
awesome.
Like I got regular creamer in my coffee. She's loading hers up and I'm like, boozing for breakfast? Yep.
Like we said, we're not the fun police.
I mean, she wasn't wrong. It tasted pretty good in coffee.
There's nothing wrong with priming the engine.
What is it called?
Coquito.
Okay. It's fantastic.
That sounds like it's made up word.
It's one of the things that I've noticed about the Carolinas specifically. Everybody's got a mason jar and everybody wants you to try it. Here, try it. That's how they approach you. They don't even say hi. They just walk up, unscrew the lid, and go, try it.
Yep.
That's the Carolina hello.
Yeah, right.
As long as you don't do like David Justin did the first year he was in North Carolina, where he showed up with like liquor store moonshine and was like, "This is moonshine. This isn't so bad." Like, that's not my moonshine, that guy.
What a quick way to separate yourself from the herd.
that's alcohol flavored water right there.
Oh my goodness.
Peanut butter rum with grape juice in the morning.
Yeah.
Staple.
Wow.
What the
Precious.
fuck?
That seems like interesting.
I don't even understand that. What sentence that is?
Making me.
Butter rum with grape.
Definitely words. Like, English words.
But aren't you kind of oddly curious?
I
I'm thinking about beer.
Like I sort of gotta know now.
After Tim gifted me orange flavored Jim Beam, I'm not curious about anything ever again. Like, that was the roughest bottle to ever drink in my life.
Talk about my future ex-wife like that.
Lonnie got some caramel moonshine from a local distillery, and not bad.
There was a guy at Hell's that I forgot. I keep forgetting the name of the booze. I've heard about it before, but like it was created by a lifelong cigar smoker, and after a while, cigar smoke burns your taste buds out, so you can't really taste a lot.
Okay.
So he made this really, really strong, bitter flavored booze. And one of the guys at Hill's like, "Hey, you want some?" I was like, "I've never tried it before. Let me try it." It tastes good until the aftertaste, and then like I walked on the field not being able to breathe right. I was dehydrated, but I was like, "I'm gonna take it like a champ, though." I'm like, "I'm fine with it." Like I was like, "Offer it to me again, I'll take it again." But like, I drank a whole water bottle. I couldn't get I couldn't get enough water in me. But it at first when you drink it, I gotta figure out what's called again. But like, it was first when you drink it, it's not bad. But then like aftertaste tastes like the dirt that's at a graveyard.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know that,
bad.
Ben?
What?
That's super specific. How do you know what the dirt at a graveyard tastes like?
Yeah.
If you have to ask, you're in trouble too.
Take a sip of that booze. I'm gonna find some online and bring it. Take a sip of it, and even though you have never tasted graveyard dirt, you will know what graveyard dirt tastes like. Like it's the only thing that hits your. The only thing that hits your brain is like dirt and dead bodies. It's so fucking hideous. And like it.
I had somebody describe drinking seltzers, like all the fancy little seltzers everybody likes, to it tastes like TV static. And I like that is a perfect description, even though, and like universally everybody nods when you hear that. It tastes like TV static. You're like, yes.
Tim gave me a seltzer one time, and I even though I loved him, I about beat him up.
Oh,
like,
Tim did it to you?
That shit's so awful. The seltzers are so just. Oh.
He
likes IPAs and stuff. Like, he likes IPAs too, though. So he doesn't have.
He likes 30 penny water.
That's a pretty broad spectrum there. Seltzers and then hoppy IPAs.
Yeah. He's got weird taste buds. And like
he's a man of culture.
You know.
Never mind. It wasn't Tim. I'm sorry. Some girl gave it to me. That's what it was. Sometimes I mistake Tim for a girl. Like, well, not now anyway, because he's all beefed up now.
Well, if we're going to admit shame, I'll just admit that I was hooked on Zimas when I got out of the Army.
We are not going to judge you on your alternate lifestyle. This is.
When I was in the military,
I drink coconut red. Who am I to judge?
I used to get my roommate drunk on fucking Smirnoff Ice. It was the funniest shit ever. Like, here I am drinking Everclear. My roommate's drinking Smirnoff Ice. He's like 2 down, like falling down, can't open the door. I'm like, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. I love it. Smirnoff Ice.
Rough.
I should bring Everclear to the game. That's a good
It's the Army spot I drink. I blame the Army.
The Army?
Military will make you drink. Like
I was a pothead. Took me 3 tests before I passed to go in the Army, and now I became a drunk. So yeah, I blame the Army.
So
I was aircraft maintenance. Then we drink all the time.
I was airborne infantry.
Nice.
Airborne infantry.
Wait,
I was a ranger.
Where were you stationed at?
I started out with 3rd Infantry Division out of Kelly Hill. I ended up with 82nd out of North Carolina.
Nice.
So you jumped out of 130. You jumped out of 130s, right?
Yeah, I got a stop loss, so yeah. I ended with 82nd.
That's the plane I worked on. I was a crew chief on there on the C-130s.
How does it make you feel that you're jumping out of a plane that drunk Ben was working on?
I didn't jump the first time. I got to the door and said, "Fuck you," and the guy behind me pushed me.
Nice.
They told me if I do it again, they're out of airborne. I'm, well, fuck, I lived the first time. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I got to the door, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not even going to play it off.
Those C-130s, though, I was in from 99 to 2009, and we had 1963 models that were flying in the airs. So yeah, flying one of those motherfuckers and jumping out, it's
look,
probably a little scary.
Look, anybody that says why you want to jump out of a perfectly fine aircraft hasn't rode in a C-130. It's like riding 80 mile an hour down a railroad tracks without shocks.
And it's super.
It makes you look forward to that light coming on. Those planes beat the hell out of you.
Like I used to hate when they did actually have Army guys lined up sitting in the
those
seats.
in Chinooks. When I went through Airsoft, I had to go out of Chinooks, and those they were bad. Like you look forward to jumping.
Those damn C-130s could take an ass kicking though. Like we had a couple that had came back with AK fire and everything. Like
there's that improvement picture.
like Like, they would take you to the shittiest parts of the world and then still take off. Like, it was a good plane, but like it's just loud and like there wasn't anything pretty about it. Like, it just
No,
you hit the ground, you hit the ground.
it was big, loud, and effective.
Oh yeah.
Well, they don't fly; they beat the air into submission.
Yeah, and everybody inside.
Like, I enjoy watching military movies where they're on C-130s, like they're talking to each other all quietly.
Yeah,
like,
no. You're yelling. You're yelling to talk to the guy beside you.
Yeah, like, it's like, what? Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, it's.
Yep, you're laying there yelling and watching that light.
Yep. Fun
If you're
time,
lucky,
though.
you'll fall asleep.
Well, they put crew chiefs on the planes, but like they would only put like a certain amount of parachutes on the plane. So you'd have a parachute for the pilot, the co-pilot, navigator, and the engineer, and sometimes they have a parachute for the loadmaster. They would never have a parachute for the fucking crew chief. We flew on a plane. We were not trained how to jump, so it's like if the plane goes down, see you later.
You don't have to jump; you have to land.
Yeah, just take off running right before you hit the ground.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Run really fast in the opposite direction. You'll be fine.
I don't know if that works.
Wow, I'm going to hell.
Right.
Thanks.
So apparently, we have to add C-130s to Scorched Earth.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Tell Nate to add it to the list.
All right.
I don't know.
Add
I don't
it
know
to
if
the Disney
Nate-
list.
I don't know if Nate has $32 million in his pocket right now, but yeah, all the decommissioned C-130s go to the boneyard. It's a place in Arizona, like where all aircraft go to die, and they just leave them there. And sometimes, every once in a while, they'll recommission them, and it's fucking weird. You got a plane coming out of the boneyard that like was just recently a museum piece, and like it's what my first C-130 is in the boneyard. It's retired, which makes me sad. So. Yeah. But
Yeah, a lot of them, if they're old enough, you can buy them by the pound. Like they take all the electronics.
You just called him old, dude.
You literally, I'm old enough to know what it is. That's how like Oklahoma D-Day had all those military vehicles that were on the field but didn't move. They literally bought
I'm not-
they didn't have engines or anything in them anymore. And
I jumped all of them. I'm not laughing that much.
Yeah, they just buy that shit by the pound.
Well, if you were a foreign government, you can buy them cheaper, fully functional, but that's a different story. But yeah, like
You got to start your own country, Ben.
we sold. I can't say it because I don't know if it's still. I don't know if the clearance is still on there, but yeah, we sold some cheap ones to different companies and countries, and like anybody in this chat could probably buy one at that price. So it's some wild shit. But yeah, we've had some adventures in those things. But back to paintball. See, we always get this show always gets off track.
It's not off track. We're just chatting about real shit. If all we did is talk about paintball, then we could do it in like 5 minutes.
I agree. That's what people don't understand. Like, you guys didn't talk about paintball much, but why? Do you want to hear about paintball anymore? That's cool. We got.
Yeah.
It's all Ben's fault.
Oh shit! We got Scott want to come in. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Shit.
I thought something earlier, but apparently didn't. Boom. Thought Tim was going to be on here, but he might have to work, so I don't know. All right, so Scott's got anybody. Anyway, so Scorched Earth is going to be fun. Like, what the? Oh, can't fit you. Oh, wait a minute. Scott made a joke, and I don't like it. Apparently, one of us can't fit in a C-130. That's son of a bitch. Anyway. All right, Scotty. Anyway, and here he is right here. Why are you making fun of us for? It's rude.
You know, if I'm not making fun of Slim, I'm not doing my job.
So we're talking about Scorched Earth because we're definitely going to that game.
God damn.
And,
Wait, is that what we're? Wait.
Bolivia.
Wait, is that?
The C-130 to Bolivia.
Is that where we're? Is that what we're playing? I thought this was like. I thought we were talking about like wrestling and like video games on this, or like some random
Yo,
shit.
what's up?
Every
sometimes we do.
show you never talk about paintball on here.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's
we try to
unfortunate
stay-
because I'm live on Facebook.
We're trying to stay on track this time. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Big
on
surprise.
Speaker, you're on speaker on my other phone.
Is that your cool wife, Johnny?
What group are you live in?
What group is this?
Fourth World Order shit show. So just look up that and that
Fourth World Order shit show.
Oh, this is definitely a shit show.
I didn't
Who
hear
invited
it.
Rob? Rob invited himself.
Fourth World Order shit show.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'll pop up.
Oh.
It's definitely a shit show, always. But yeah. Anyway,
Gotcha. Is that like a
actually,
one?
Yeah.
Actually, I can actually do this. Hold on. Since we're talking about everything real fast, I can actually bring us over here and we can share the screen and we can talk about the game a little bit. So, boom. Where's that?
Do we have to send
There's
any public
the-
apologies before the game this year?
I'm a commander.
Usually we have
what
to
I
do
did.
advertising after, but that's it.
This ain't the
I was gonna
first
say,
time or the
we're
last
doing
time.
pretty good this year.
As of right now, we're being nice.
We're behaved.
Scott, fuck you, Scott.
We're behaved.
All right, so I guess this is the part of the show where I'm gonna discuss what this thing right
Yeah,
here.
well, you enjoy your lives.
All
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds
So
good.
Watch out for the Chinese.
Will.
So if you go on Facebook and you search Scorched Earth, this is the event page that pops up. It tells you pertinent information. There's some random stuff in here, but like there's a discussion somewhere in here. If I can find that discussion, it shows you that there's a game map. Apparently, it's a lot.
That's
of
a
green.
sexy map. That's a lot of green. I will say.
It's a lot of green.
New image this year. A lot of green.
And look, we even got a message from DJ right here showing the event sequences for the weekend.
Yep.
So this is where if you're actually tuned in to like listen to paintball stuff like Scott, like Cupcake over here, this is your information central right here. You're definitely gonna like be able to find all your information on this thing, and then you hit the about button, and you can click this little button pre-reg, boom, it brings up pre-reg, and then you can sign up and look at that. You can, and even tells
Red
you
side, of course. Red side, of course.
Of course.
tells you the generals are and everything. So
That's the only side you should be looking at. Red side.
Did you notice that I was ahead of the president with claiming countries on the logo? If you go up to the logo, I didn't replace Greenland. Apparently, I took over Iceland, though. If you look where Iceland's supposed to be, it's a turtle.
I like that.
Oh,
I see the turtle right there.
I was trying to see who'd notice it.
That's creative.
That's pretty awesome. So what's up with this right here? We got camping right here. We got camping suggestion. Undeveloped campsite for free. And apparently you got water hookups to pay for.
Plug-in spot with water or with water and power that you have to pay something, and that's just to cover the cost of the electricity or the water you're going to use. There's even a shower pass because we have showers.
Shower,
a
you
couple
dirty,
locations at the field.
you dirty people. Take a
I see
shower.
right-
It's
yeah,
not
so-
that
so-
hard.
So basically, you pay for registration, you pay for your paint. You can come in camp for free.
Yep.
But if you want water and power, you pay a little fee. If you want to use the showers, you pay a little fee. That's not a big deal. That's like there are places out there that will charge you a fee and won't give you any of this stuff.
Yeah, and if you
So-
look, the shower pass is $20 for the weekend.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And not only will they charge you, they'll come and measure you
Yeah.
when you're in your spot.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the shower pass for you. And
We don't do the measuring thing. It's you got space, do your thing.
That's
Yes,
one of the
Scott.
reasons
Not
why we were
everybody
not
can
going to go
afford
back
those
to.
Ozempic.
Sorry.
That's one of the reasons why we weren't going to go back to Dread Legends. I'll tell a story since DJ's here right now. So this is how DJ does his stuff, right? So we went to the last Dread Legends at Florida Tracks and Trails, and we were told, buy you a spot. The website said buy you a spot. It's this big. It fits this many campies. You're allowed to have a car with you, and
Is
And,
this where
like-
you got drunk and lost and mated with an alligator?
Will you hush? Anyway, so like the whole website said the website. So we actually we counted the people we had. We measured the campies. We ordered the exact same size we would need, and we even ordered we ordered 2 campsites. So we were allowed 2 vehicles. We only have 1 of them. So one of us may have gotten really, really drunk and blacked out for 3 hours, and nobody knew where that person was at. I'm not going to name names, but somebody did. And then during the middle of the night, Fireball, who isn't with us anymore, may have woken that person up in the middle of the night because the security guard came around and was hassling us. And he was basically telling a whole bunch of drunk people that we only paid for 2 campsites, but he thinks we should pay for 3. And if we didn't give him the money right then, he was kicking us out of the campsite right then. And I'm like, first of all, you're going to tell a bunch of drunk people they got to drive. So, F you. I looked at the guy. I was like, well, that sucks then. And I walked away. He's like, well, I'm gonna come back in the morning and I'm gonna kick all you guys out of here. Cool. I mentioned DJ. I was like, DJ, security guards like bothering us over here. We already bought the place. We already bought the stuff. We're within regs. He's trying to tell us we got to pay more. DJ said, I'll take care of it. Never heard from the security guard ever again. Like DJ took care of it on the spot. Done. And I don't know if that security guard was trying to go in for business on his own or he didn't understand the whole. But yeah,
I'm not going to get into all the details, but I took care of it. It just is a thing. For Mike, real quick, just so it doesn't get lost. I have, as far as I know, our prices are locked in for the year with the companies that we get them from. We have paperwork that says this is what we're going to get our paint for. Obviously, if there is some sort of crazy ass tariff that goes into play, since the paint, a good portion of it will come in from Canada, there's a potential for it, but I don't know if it's one of the products that specifically would be. It's not a tariff on everything; it's tariffs on certain things, and so I don't know if paint would be a thing. As far as I know, I don't see that being a thing. So I can't promise anything. Obviously, I don't speak for the government. But I'll tell, as long as, even if it did, like Ben was around specifically and gave me plenty of crap for the group when we did raise our price a couple years back up, like by $5. But we had absorbed. I mean, and he was around for that. Like he knew about it, kind of in the conversations. I mean, we had absorbed a couple pretty hefty paint price increases before we finally look at a certain point. We can't just keep absorbing it. It has to, like any other thing, at a certain point, prices have to move from us to the customers, but we try to hold off on that as much as possible. As you've seen, producers this year alone have raised their prices, in some cases pretty significantly, for like day of paint and things like that. We didn't change any of ours. I'll never tell you one time in my life that this isn't a business and this isn't how I make my living, but I'm going to make sure that's why I'm as transparent as I am with everything. You know, there's not a lot of price margin on the first strikes because of how much they cost. So you'll notice that we never change the price from the day we open reg all the way through day of. It's basically a pass-through type of deal, but I'd rather you have them than, make you feel like you're being fleeced for it, kind of thing. And it's just how it is. It still is a business. It is still how I make my living, but I'm living just fine the way I am. I don't, need a Ferrari, as I guess the easiest way to say what I'm saying. I'm having a wonderful time with my weirdo friends.
Every time I buy First Strikes, I feel like I was fleeced.
Do you?
And to be fair,
that's like pastor, so you'll have to talk to them. I didn't add anything to it.
But no, what I'm saying is, like, I used to get $600 for the price I get $300 for now.
To be fair, round ball prices at your events is really good. Like there's fields that charge way more, and
for worse quality,
and way worse quality.
Some people don't go to those fields anymore.
Again, that comes from being a player. We've all been to that game where they have one brand of paint, and not the owner, not the field's fault, but that paint came off the machines a little rough. It happens. It's a gelatin ball with fill in it. Like, the odds that they even shoot straight sometimes are a miracle if you think about what you're actually trying to make work well. So sometimes you just get a dud delivery, and it's nobody's fault. You just have to deal with it. And it's a miserable feeling at a game when the paint's just not working well. So that's why we brought in the 3 brands. It was worth it to us because if we get a dud brand, we don't have a dud entire game. There's other options, and we can move around it. What we did, it makes sense, and this will speak to you guys because it comes from the player side of things. We went backwards in reverse. Like, the prices of day of are the game prices. That's what the game price is. If you'll pre-reg earlier, that gives us working capital to get like printing done and pay the graphic guy to make the printing cards and all that kind of stuff. So we're willing to reduce the day of price to encourage you to sign up early, which then gives us working capital. And so the early bird pricing is based on, that's about as low as we can go and still turn the lights on, so to speak. But we would be thrilled if every single person that came to the game took advantage of it. If all 800 people signed up during early bird, then I know exactly how many porta johns to get and exactly how much food to bring in and how things like that.
That's a perfect world.
It improves your experience as the players, as the consumer. I can do a better job of pre-planning your needs if I know how many of you are coming. We had that one year that a lot of you rode through with us, but we had like just under 500 people with a week to go in pre-reg, and it shot up to 800. And we had an air issue. We didn't have enough porta johns. We were great. Like we were able to fix the porta john. We were able to fix the food. We were able to catch up on everything. In the air, we couldn't. And then, of course, the air got overwhelmed.
How many people are coming?
Ate the deck, and then in the middle of the night, Flip went north with an envelope, and Nate went south with a truck and a trailer. And by 6 o'clock the next morning, there was 2 brand new compressors at either end of the field, wired in and fired up and good to go. And that wasn't easy, and it wasn't cheap. But you woke up to an improved situation. We couldn't fix the crash Saturday, but we could not just throw our hands in the air and go, oh, well, that's what the rest of the event's going to be. We were lucky. We were able to fix it. Maybe that time, maybe not. But it built some credibility with you guys as the players that we're not going to just shrug and go, well, here, this is what it is. Effort was made to improve that situation. While you slept, we were working. And the response we got back from the players made it worth every second and every dollar. You know what I mean? Because of the respect we got back on the effort was appreciated.
Fuck you, Scott.
Whoa. This is the first F-bomb drop on the podcast all day. That's pretty amazing.
That's not
Bro,
bad.
why are you going to interrupt Hanu giving like a great analogy and insight into like the paintball world, and you just out here like just throwing shade at me for no reason?
And he thinks I'm bad for bad guy.
So what you're saying is you didn't just DM me saying you're a bitch.
No, I can't confirm nor deny at this time. I'm currently doing this podcast with you.
Here's a very important thing I got to bring up. All right, so this is super important. It's a question for Rob. It's something he needs to answer on this one because
the kangaroo's back.
This is what's called accountability, Rob. Okay, we're gonna hold you accountable for this shit. Okay, so the last show we did, we had the Blue General on here.
Yep,
and he said some words on that show that I about shut the whole podcast off on because I was about to die laughing. I couldn't hold it in. He said, I'm gonna misquote him here, okay? He said, the reason why I chose Rob to be on my team is because I heard how good of a recruiter he is, and I knew he was the man for the job. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, last year when Rob was recruiting for his team, he got out recruited 3-1. So what the? I'm gonna drop a second at ball. What the fuck did this dude say to the Blue General that made him think that Rob was the guy to go to? Rob.
Okay. So here we go. I had to pay. I had to pay a price for my fucking arrogant actions.
We know. We were there.
I was part of that punishment. Thanks, buddy.
We know. We were all there. We bear witness. And boy.
And you still barely won.
Really?
Well, really? But even when that was done, the fact that like the toxic twin brother won some awards at the game just shows how much. That's why it's this best paintball family thing, because he got his spanking. Somebody had to say something or do something or whatever the thing was. But at the end, everybody's still hugging it out. You know what I mean?
I mean, officially, unofficially, I have an award, but I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Well, you know, Ben's got your trophy there with him.
I got an award too. I got an award too, Cupcake.
See, but you can actually like present your award. I'm not, you know, I got weird looks and questions about the other one.
If I had an award,
that'll show exactly how they work. They came to me and they're like, "Here's what we want to do." And I'm like, okay, how can I not be the fun police and yet not give certain members of the community the picture that they are dying to have of me on stage next to something like that and just blow up about it? Because, you know, I have that one little secret fan club who just really loves me. Actually, there's two now, but anyways.
If I would have gotten that award, I would have been happy about it, and I would show everybody. But then I would think, I got this award from Gio, and I would throw it in the trash just because of that.
Yeah, I had to tell him, like, here's the deal. When I announce the scores, I'm going to announce right before the scores, there's going to be one more award after I leave.
Also, there was a lot of dudes that were excited to see it. So not naming any specific names, but there was a lot of guys that wanted to gather around and see it. Slim was the first to line up. He kept begging for it.
We have a very unique group of friends.
Is that the
No, I transported those fuckers there. I seen them. I gift wrapped them. Okay.
I appreciate the effort you put into it.
Thank you.
There you go.
It's well earned.
To cycle back to Mike's question, I would love to see 800 people.
Right now, that's what it's looking like.
I would love it.
Tracking last 2 years, it's been about 850. We're literally a couple bodies below what it was the last 2 years, but like single digits, double digits, like barely into double digits below. So tracking to be more 800 instead of 850. I sort of know the players that aren't coming based on just basically the paintball world and its overall view. There's certain people that have different interests since last year, so they won't be joining us. And not in the same numbers that they have in the past, I guess would be the most politically correct way to say that. There's going to be a good turnout from them, but not as in the past.
So can you be politically correct and then everybody else like Ben not be politically correct?
No, let's not do that, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have no idea after like when I announced that I was doing my thing, how many times I had to explain that, you know, I wasn't in a fight with anybody, and I wasn't in
I feel your pain.
I had a lot of people explaining to me about this great drama that was going on, and I tried to explain, like, you know, you really can't have a one-sided fight. I'm not fighting anybody. So
it was like live news. That was like the best. I was like enjoying it because there wasn't really any drama, but it felt like there was drama.
Well, that was it because there was a big unknown.
Wrestling.
There was a big unknown because when I announced it, and then we all had to sit like 3 months before the next event, and so that was the only thing to talk about. And so it took 3 months of waiting to be able to run an event and for people to come and go, okay, nothing really changed. Kind of a new logo. The vibe is still good. Our friends were all still there. The game was still run at a fun level that we liked. Great. Everything's normal. It's just under some new branding, little fresher, little more freedom. That's about it. That's all that did change. But the only way I could do it was do it at a time when that previous company I worked for did not have anybody's money. Because we had just gotten done with Living Legends and we had not opened the next registration yet. So for a small window, we didn't owe anybody any money and we didn't possess any of their money because as far as I knew, I was the only employee for the last decade. So when I left, I was under the impression that was sort of it. And then the company, we found out that the company actually had been in the process of potentially being sold, unbeknownst to me, actually, that it was actually in the process of getting sold to a new owner at about the same time I left. So it just kind of shows that the company itself the owner was making decisions for his benefit and where he wanted to go with things. And at the same time, we both kind of realized there was sort of a fork in the road right about there. After working together for a decade, it seemed right to both of us. And we kind of both had the same idea at the same time. So it kind of just went and did its thing. And now there's just that many more options for players to go out and try different events.
I will say, as a very low level player. I will say the best thing that came of all of this is the ability to kind of compromise and say, okay, these are your dates, these are our, like, and kind of spread it out. I think the drum at first was everybody was riding on top of everybody and nobody knew what was going on. So I think that was going to be like all right, now you got to pick and choose your friends. And I think that
unfortunately, I think that was more of a knee-jerk reaction from their perspective, because I think they had certain plans of they were buying a product and what came with that product and what all entailed in that product, and not all of it was actually part of it, if that makes sense.
They were buying the product, but not the fan base.
You can't buy loyalty, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to go down like the negative thing. I just want to simply say that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm keep it positive. Slim's still a bitch.
They're doing their thing, and it's more opportunity for players to experience more places, and that's cool. With the idea is when I put out the dates, well, those were the dates that I had run games on in the past, and I had contracts to run games now. So I was going to run games on the weekends. I've been running games for a decade. They probably came out and in their process went, hey, those are the same weekends that we're planning to run these games, because that's when the games by the name were run, even though it's not the same thing. It's not the same game. And that doesn't mean it's not going to be good. It just means it's a different version of that game. Everything evolves. And so that probably happened with that. And then I think in the process, as they were looking for the games got announced, and then it came down to locations, and there were scheduling conflicts and things like that. Also would probably be the nicest way to phrase that, it sort of worked itself out. It sort of just kind of, the game shifted around. We literally had one game on top of each other in November or October, excuse me.
October, yeah.
And there's still one potentially coming forward this year in September where we might have events on the same day. I don't know if that's still the case. We're going to run our game on that weekend. It was said that the dates were picked because they were the traditional dates. Well, last year when we ran it on that date was the first year we ever ran it on that date. So I don't know if it makes it the traditional weekend, but it is going to be now. So
there are still some people out here that don't understand, and like they're still talking about like, hey, do you know the old game is in this state now? Like, yeah, we knew that a month ago, there, buddy. Like, yeah, some people aren't in the loop, and all they see is the name, and that's what I think. Seeing just the name and seeing it like, oh, that's the name I go to. Oh, it's over here now. That's when people start getting confused. That's when like drama kind of starts a little bit.
I'm happy where everybody's at the moment. It seems like everybody's gotten, to figure out kind of the mojo, and we're just gonna go with that. Like,
Rob and I've talked about this before, and it sort of comes down to it is before, when I worked for that company, I was a friendly competitor with the guy who currently owns it.
Yeah,
we actually ran ran a game, and he allowed it. And it was a great working relationship at the time. All that happened is now we're competitors under different brand names. But that's all that changed. We were competitors last year and the year before that, and found a way, like any other producers, to work around each other. And you can go one direction and be kind of crappy about it, or you can go about it being cool, or you can be neutral. And I'm good with anything other than crappy. And right now, it's not crappy. Everybody's finding a way to do their thing. The players will ultimately decide where they want to spend their money. And then that just puts more pressure on producers like myself and other producers to give you the best overall experience for your dollar. And if we do our job, you'll come to our games. And if we don't do our job, you won't. But that's on us. So,
Slim, what are you eating?
Competition is good for everybody.
I'm giving my dog her joint supplements.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Try to sneak one in there too.
No.
The dog wouldn't have bad joints if you wouldn't. Never mind. Anyway, so like,
she's an old girl.
So we're all right. So Fayetteville, North Carolina. If anybody's not familiar with, I'm trying to put in facts right here. If anybody's not familiar with Fayetteville, North Carolina, all right, I'm gonna give some little statements here.
Dope field.
There are like 17 strip clubs near the field.
Oh, I'm not speaking to this stuff. But I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if they're good or not.
3 Waffle Houses.
Are you old enough?
Well, here's the
old
deal.
enough.
I'm gonna give tips again. I always give tips every year before a Fayetteville game. All right, so look, if you go to a strip club, the strippers automatic. There's military, but there's army base there. The strippers automatically know that military people have TRICARE and money. So if you want to hook up with a stripper, now's your chance. You go to the game, you go to the strip club, shave your fucking face, give yourself a nice high and tight haircut, and walk in there to the strip club and pretend that you're competent at what you do. And they'll think that you're military, and they'll go to your hotel room with you. That is my advice to anybody that's single and wants to hook up with strippers.
And that's how you get AIDS.
Just don't kiss them on the mouth.
That's why it burns my pee. Got it.
So this is
all right.
This is the informative hour. But anyway, yes, Fayetteville is pretty nice. So like you can find a bunch of Waffle Houses.
Three close by. 3 Waffle Houses close by.
And here I thought we were actually going to get to talk about the fields and how awesome it is.
It's going to be a great event, guys.
That was the first hour. That was the first hour.
The first hour. The hour that
new crew running the char this year.
We're going to be at Hooters in a minute, guys. Come on.
We got a fresh crew running the char.
A fresh crew of AARP recipients.
Well, you know what? Roger's on the team, so I can't really fight you on that one. He's one of the guys I get to make old jokes about.
He can't hear him anyway, so I mean, it's not going to affect him. Just keep him away from gasoline.
Right? Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. Like, we're going to get to do some really cool stuff this year with the char. That's always one of my favorite things to write when we do the game, because like you can do just about anything. And like last year when we had the char jump the opening insert, I didn't know whether people were going to like that or not, or whether it was going to be cool. And everything I needed to know, I went and just, I'll go down and check on the bases as the day's going by and get a feel of how the day's going for people, how they're vibing, how they're feeling. And Bishop meets me at the door, and he's like, I ran 2 steps. I was going to bust out and, run. And, I'm picturing like my boy Bishop. I love him. But his running's a lot like my running. It's like walking with purpose more than running. And he's like, I ran 2 steps out and got my head blown off. He's like, why would you put him right outside the door? I'm like, for this exact reaction. Like, would you expect them there? Like, and so that's fun. Like, to me, that's a riot. And the fact that you guys all love the char and mess with them and hassle them and go back and forth with it, because you've all been to games. Sometimes the third faction just doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think for us, it's all been a learning experience with the char.
Well, to be fair, last year I did tell Tim, I was like, we outnumber Rob. I was like, DJ's going to sit char right on our fucking insert. I was like, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Nope. I write the char missions the same time I write the game. So I don't like mid-game put the char somewhere to screw with the balance, because that's one of the things that I hated when they would do that with the third faction. Like, so I'm kicking your butt. I spent my hard-earned money on this paint. I used a bunch of this to get all the way in and bust on your butt. And now all of a sudden you're going to throw the third faction right on me and take my accomplishment. Same reason I don't like pull you back from spawn camping too much. You'll notice I don't get in the middle of that too much. I prefer it doesn't happen. I hope it self-regulates, but I don't go in there and like all of a sudden make the refs like throw you all back.
I'll back my guys up.
Money to get there. You know what I'm saying? You shot paint. You made good moves. You shot the target more than they did. Why? That'd be not fair for me to take that from you.
I know 2 years
ago.
If
that happens, Red will back up.
Johnny, you better not.
We were spawn camping 2 years ago.
I'm gonna play with your Princess P, buddy.
We all came together as players and made the agreement to back up. Like
that's the best way then. Then that's self-regulating. The players decide how they want that game to go. And that way, because it's not right for me to go in there. Like it's gray areas. I mean, how do you decide? I make you go back. I stuff you back. God forbid I move you far enough back. All of a sudden they break out, shove you back, and you end up losing the game when you had them pinned. Like I just screwed you over after all your hard work. I don't want to ever be that involved in the actual outcome. All the stuff I try to do is before the game starts, and then just let it play out on the field and don't interfere with it, man. Let it happen.
Until you have to step in and stop stupidity, like
No.
4 giant body shields walking with a tank. And
Well, yeah, but that was one of those. I mean, it's the same reason we love that player who came up with that idea. Is the same reason. Like, once I found out what's happening, like, all right.
Or a good one that's not old game related at Black Flag, using the tank to try to dig for treasure. That I think that's really like sometimes people will be like, yeah, no, you can't do that. But like it was really dope just letting it play out. And obviously it didn't count for anything anyway because we couldn't find they couldn't find the treasure, so it didn't really matter. But like I think that's kind of cool.
Again, if I can say yes, I'll say yes. The standard rules are: is it cool? Is the first thing I ask. Is whatever they're doing cool? Like when they did the tank tag against the Char, nowhere in my rules is there anything that says there's a tank tag. But we had you can't kill him as long as he's touching his cone Char member, shooting at a tank that he can't kill because he's only got paint. The tank is shooting paint at him, and they're going at each other, just getting closer and closer and closer. My ref's like, neither one's cheating. What can I do here? And the tank, since it's a walking tank, just barely touched Rusty, and my ref yells, "Tank tag, you're out." And everybody just agreed because everybody agreed that thing had to stop what they were doing, but nobody really knew a great way to call it and why interfere. And now it's still one of the greatest fun little stories from in one of the games that Rusty is the only person in paintball history to get tank tagged.
And then the year after that, surprisingly, the AARP group that we were talking about came out with a fucking law rocket.
Right, because I had to solve it. I had to go, okay, going forward, they have to have an ability to be like, all right, I need this tank off me.
Yep.
It's like the time the guy left his tank on the field and the other side stole it.
Yeah, and then but it's even better. No, it's even better. Like the time that somebody left a tank on the field, not in so recent that we had to find.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
last year.
And then who found it? Char.
Right. Grimmy brought a tank for both sides. He's like, but I'm not just going to give it to him. I'll put it on the field. If they find it, it's theirs. And just like the one side's like, we got shot, so we all left the tank on the field and we walked off, and then they took our tank. They can't do that. I'm like, sounds like they did.
I get a call.
Is there a limit on tanks on each side?
Not so much a limit. What we'll do is, depending on how many come, depends on how many can be on the field at one time. And then depending on how many are on each side. Basically, there's a couple different ways we can do it to make sure that the tanks are fair. We're going to be able to have motorized tanks this time.
Oh, God.
One of the things that switched with the switching of the new company is I got different insurance. So it's not $3 million of freaking coverage to get you out there in a tank. So we're going to there's motorized tank rules that are involved. It's still this kind of standard one. You got to stay.
I had to give up my soul for Boda Gap, the bad side.
Yeah,
not NATO.
And one of those guys, actually, one of the guys that was just down at Desi's field says he's bringing his motorized tank now. I ran into him at Red versus Blue, and we were talking, and he got super excited when I told him he could do it. We also have signed off on. You still need an AT card for it, but those the big balls, the bow and arrow thing. Is now going to be able to kill a tank with the bow and arrow. It'd still be 2 hits, still all the same rules.
Are you doing AT like law tickets?
You'll have a law card, and that card will allow you to carry a certain amount of law tiles on you per insert. So if you use them all, run off the field, your base, run back in.
So the guys using the laws that don't have the cards are worthless.
They're worthless.
Can I give him the heads up how many law cards he gets?
That'd be a
It
great
depends
thing
how many
to
people
let
come.
me though.
That sounds
4.
like a competitive
You get 4.
advantage.
Possibly. Depends how many people come. Same thing with medics. Medics and law cards, the more people we have, the more of those I put into the game because I don't want it to
And
become
it's 3 rockets, right?
Yeah.
Still 3 rockets
Yep.
per law player.
That John question. There is a time frame on tanks. It's
30 minutes and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What we do to make it easy for the players and the refs to know what's happening is they're allowed to go in at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, and they have a 30-minute fuel window. So if it is 5 minutes after 1 and you see a tank in motion, you know that you either have to kill it or wait it out till 1:30. 1:30, that tank's dead whether you can kill it or not. If that same tank is still rolling at 1:35, my ref will go yank them and they're going to miss an insert or 2 for not following the rules. But that's the easiest way to kind of tell. If that tank somehow gets eliminated or chooses to take themselves off the field by 1:25 and they make that bottom of the hour window, they can immediately reinsert. Do you follow me? So if they give themselves the right kind of thing, they can more or less stay on the field almost continuously as long as they tag up in time.
He's talking about like an ambulance.
Mobile respawn, basically. Like use a tank as a mobile respawn.
They just gotta make sure they call themselves out.
No, because
we
it's
don't do
still
that.
always a 5 rule, right? 5 feet from the tank.
Yeah.
If it's a motorized tank, you have to stay 10 feet from it. If it is a non-motorized tank, you can use it as a mobile bunker because it can't run you over and hurt you.
But you can't respawn from it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be pretty corny.
Here's
Let me run to the ambulance.
Yeah, the way we do the timed inserts and everything like that is done, and it goes to the overall game design. That attrition and that distance of walking back when you're hit is. We play that as part of where we want the bodies to move, and
It's
so
a lot of walking.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say
if it's not a lot of walking, then the next thing I hear is there's nowhere to move. There's somebody behind every bunker.
True.
So,
first of all, I just want to say like
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I think it's just a fat people complaint.
Okay, I
I
get
think
that.
fat people get half respawns.
Hey,
I just want to say
that was
there's
your former life, okay?
Play your show.
there has never been a
Yeah, I'll take
player
this.
ever create his own mobile respawn and use it in a game. I can tell you that much. Has never happened ever.
That's fine.
Also, pro tip number 2: if you pick up a rocket and you throw it at the tank, they will think they got shot by a rocket and they will stop. I did it 2 years ago. I got my ass lit up, but I made the tank stop, so I was pretty happy.
I will say,
Yep.
kind of promoting a different game, but you were talking about mobile respawns. But Venom doing Art of War over the summer, they did the Commander having like a stick with a balloon on it, and it acted like a mobile respawn. And I thought that was a pretty nifty idea, especially when the balloon gets popped. You know that you're out, you don't have a spawn for I think it was like 10, 15 minutes. I can't.
Well, that's the beauty of it. There's no one right way to write or design a game. Certain games like was it Gangster's Paradise? I hear is a fantastic game. Everybody loves it, and it's written and designed different than I would do one of my games. That's
too hood for me.
That's what I meant when I said about the whole. The more games you guys have out there as consumers, you can choose to play a variety of different games. You can pick something like either my games or like a super game series and try to hit them all. There's just the more opportunities you guys have is better for you as the consumer.
There is one super game I will never attend.
Okay.
And that's Super Game Oregon.
Why?
That's a haul.
It's a mud pit, dude.
Is it?
I thought it was just
Every
going across
year.
country.
Well, all I was saying was though, like, if you do create your own mobile respawn and you use it in front of a referee, then it's not illegal.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not listening to Ben advice about things that are legal or not legal. No.
Like that was supposedly there was a player one year that used a mobile respawn in front of a referee, and they didn't say no. So then, like that said player was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this from a joke to a real thing." And they started using it all weekend, but that was allegedly happened. Now, I don't know who that player was, but he was probably pretty sexy looking. That's all I know.
what a dirtbag.
But
We'll go with if we're going to go all the way as far out as Oregon, we might as well just keep going and go out to the Hawaii game.
Yes.
ooh,
I'm just saying.
dude,
I would
yeah,
love
like,
to go to that game.
if you throw a rocket at a tank, they think they got shot. I did a couple years ago.
No,
Tank
is that
stopped.
26, honey?
What's that?
The
26,
Lion game,
yeah.
is that 26?
26.
Yes, February 2026. It's Valentine's Day weekend. And we might actually, I've already started conversations since I started. I'm going to start running airsoft events now. We're going to probably try to do in 2027 run an airsoft thing out there. So kind of having every other year is
I'm planning on
paintball.
going 26.
Basically, paintball then airsoft and paintball then airsoft is sort of the hope and the goal to go forward with it.
I'll take my future ex-wife with me.
Hey, Johnny, have you looked into the Air Force Reserve, the military resorts that are out in Hawaii? You can
No.
There's a website where you can actually look for military resorts in Hawaii. I'm not sure if there's one on that island or not, but you can actually go discounted price and you can stay at a resort.
They feed you MREs and they beat you and make you do.
I'll keep with the squirrels. I'll be all right.
These are legit Air Force run resorts.
One of our
I'm not fancy enough for Air Force, but I wasn't airborne.
It don't matter. You can still go.
Bettickets.com, I think, is the website.
That's a different one. That's a different one. But there's one that's there's resorts in there's one in Florida. It's at the Disney Village. You can go there. There's one in Sweden. I'm sorry, it's Germany. I'm sorry, it's Germany. Edelweiss, Germany. There's one in South Korea, Hawaii. There's one in Alaska.
That does that with Key West. There's the base down there in Key West, and you can stay in the. I think it's basically a dormitory more than anything else, but you can stay there as ex-military, and so he's done that a couple times now.
Yeah, I can catch a hot flight too.
There's a one that's it's on one of the islands of Hawaii. It's not near where the game is, but like it's a legit like full on resort with like spas and everything in it. It's like I'm not sure which one's on the island. I think there is one close to. I think there is one on the island, but the big one's like ridiculous. I've been looking into it.
Yeah,
because I'm not going.
That's the one we got to remind everybody every year. You don't need a passport for Hawaii.
I know it's still part of the States.
You'd be amazed how many people actually ask me if they need a passport to go there. I'm like, dude, it's the 50th state.
Hey Rob, how's it like traveling on an airplane with your paintball gun?
Great.
Bet you won't do that again.
You do the carry-on thing?
No, I checked it in.
And they checked it, and they checked it out.
And they checked it out. They took off my TSA locks. No TSA pamphlet.
Okay.
They ripped off the tag off my bag so they could claim that it was tagless. That's the reason it got left behind. And then when I got it back, my CS2 was gone. Dizana sunglasses were gone. My Sandana headband was gone.
But didn't you get
the map? We learned in Hawaii, if you ship something from a UPS store to another UPS store, they'll hold it indefinitely. So one of the pro tricks we were telling people to do is go to your local UPS store, send it to the Kihei UPS store. You can send it 2 weeks at a time, a month at a time, whatever you need to do, get tracking and everything, and they'll literally store that at the store until you can go get it. You can even set it right on the counter when you get it, measure, weigh it, get the thing, get the return label for it ready, all set, and then you can just drop it off at any drop-off location. Say you're flying out Sunday night, you can drop your thing off at a drop-off location with you already got a prepaid sticker on it for the return trip. So we've done that a few times for people to just make it easier on themselves. And they guarantee the storage because it's literally store to store.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
pro tip.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about messing with your stuff because it's literally just a box. It's not like a paintball bag. You throw a paintball bag on a bet, and somebody at the airport's a paintball player. You'd like to think they wouldn't, but sounds like the person that went into your bag knew exactly what was of value and what wasn't. So,
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
I'm over.
You know how much money I had to pay that guy off to do that?
See, that's why I get my guns anodized the way they do. There's no way you can steal it, but you'll never get to use it.
Dude. But that's the thing, though. That with the HK Invader, that was it was a very unique colorway because not all of them came solid red. Right, they were red and black. So, and I have the serial number that's I got it reported as stolen. So if it pops up,
well,
they paid
I thought you got it back though.
It's a
Southwest
relatively
paid me
small
out.
community, man.
Southwest paid me out for it. Not really what I wanted, but I think I made out okay. It's almost $1,300 they gave me, and $700 in credit flight.
There you go. I mean, at least they didn't drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
So now you can pay for the flight to Hawaii.
You should have flown Frontier. They would have never did it then. They would have.
Yeah, but you got to fight.
Well,
No,
I mean,
no, that's what I told the people at Southwest. I'm like, look, like I expect this shit if I flew United, I would have brought my boxing gloves, but this is the reason I paid a premium to fly with you guys.
No, it's not.
I think JetBlue.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say thanks for having me on. My lungs are getting bad. I need to go cough a bunch. Plus, I'm high. Yeah, and plus I'm so high right now I could duck hunt with a rake, so I need to attend to some shit. But I'll see y'all in about 3 weeks. All right, love you guys.
All right, brother.
Sounds good.
Have a good night, man.
See you. Bye-bye.
That's a crazy
Bill is
son
like
of a bitch
one
right
of the
there.
classic characters in paintball.
I swear to God, he's a crazy son of a bitch. I love Wild Bill.
Like the thing is, like when he meets you, like he's automatically your friend no matter what. Like me and him didn't know each other. Like we met each other. I think we met each other at Adventure Beach several years ago. Like, immediately we were friends, just friends.
Was he the one that caught you having sex with the alligator?
Yes, but like he's just one of those guys. That if you're open to like being friends with a paintball player and you want to talk to people, you go talk to him. You're friends with him for life now. He's one of those guys.
That's what the community's like. One of the first times I spent quality time with Rob, he walked out. He's wearing a hot dog costume, and I think he had a flamingo on his head.
Yep.
I'm like, yep, I'm gonna talk to that dude.
Like, I think out of this whole group that's been on the podcast today, I'm the least liked out of everybody. So I have a different experience.
Shut the fuck up, Ben. Everybody likes you.
You're not
No.
like you got the cool chapter.
There's a bald-headed snake guy that does not like me at all. I can tell you that.
That ball-headed snake guy doesn't like too many people.
He doesn't like a lot of people.
It's weird though. Like the rest of his team likes me. The rest of his team likes me. He just doesn't like me. All right, cool, dude. Whatever. And then there's this guy that wears a skull mask. Sometimes he doesn't like me either.
Well,
Fucking Reaper, man. Like Reaper's more like Reaper's an enigma because he is a dirtbag sometimes, but he's also like one of the most giving pieces of shit out there. But he actually gives a shit. Like he cares about the community. He pretends like he's like those guys in high school that wore like the leather jackets and smoked. You know, I'm too cool to care, but deep down he really did care. That explains Jason Mann right there.
Dude, I get almost yearly Maui statues, or he got me a light up Maui hook one year. Like he just finds these little weird eccentric things that he's put Maui and me together, and he just every year he brings me some sort of little thing that he saw, catches his eye. He's a good dude, man. Like none of us are perfect in any sort of way, but we all have this weird little bond.
Jason has a persona that he has to uphold it. He has to uphold that he's the bad guy, but in like real life he's not. Like,
you know what's
he's
funny?
a good guy.
You don't realize that you're in a weird community until you start talking to other people about your community.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
on the weekends?
You willingly get shot and get bruised all over your body, and you find that fun? Yeah, it's okay.
The thing that really gets you, like, you can actually, like, in your friend group, you can have like the straight edge Christian dude, and you can have the boozer, and they get along. Like you can have the criminal who does criminal activities, who's also on the same team as the cop, and they get along. They're friends. It's a weird thing. Like it's a very weird thing.
Be a guy from the north and a team filled with
everyday
southern
life.
players.
I mean, you can even have your ex-wife and your new wife on the same paintball team.
That's weird.
Sadly, a few of us have seen a version of that. Like, you know,
I think he's mentioned somebody on this team, maybe.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Not my team. Similar colors, but not my team.
No.
Let me tell you.
That's when you got to have chapters.
I ran into somebody's ex-wife at the strip club at Fayetteville, and I had no idea who she was. Like I'm sitting, I hear.
That's because all you saw was boobies.
Man. No, some kid that was hanging out with us. He's like, "Do you know her?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't know her." Like she comes and hugs me, like, "You don't know who I am." And I'm like, "Nope." 20 minutes later, I realized who it was. I'm like, "Yeah, that's a different story." But yeah, that's a good time. Like, all right, here's another pro tip: when you go to Fayetteville, Dollhouse, no other place. Just the Dollhouse. Don't go anywhere else.
I thought it was Myrtle Beach.
That's Myrtle Beach.
Did I say that?
No, you said Fayetteville.
Oh, Myrtle Beach. Oh, I'm sorry. Some of us are drinking vodka tonight.
And
Yeah.
when you go to Hickory, it's Treasure Chest.
No.
Yes, they got the best wings.
The Playhouse, son.
No, they got the best wings. Treasure House got the best wings.
Man, you guys really need to just date somebody.
I think they'll show up Saturday morning. I know what happens.
Right? I've never gone there for wings.
Comes walking in, he's got like chicken wing grease on his cheeks and regret on his face.
And that happy face.
But that's the thing. I don't think he regrets anything. But the chicken wing grease will be there.
You never regret a great story.
And
as long as you don't get arrested, there's nothing to regret. Like, there's nothing. Like, I swear, going out in Myrtle Beach, like there were blue lights everywhere. Like people were getting arrested. I saw people get arrested all fucking night, and then the next morning, and everything. As long as you don't get arrested, it's a good story. If you do get arrested, it's a great story, but yeah, a shitty time. But like,
man, I don't know where you're hanging out, man. We've lived here now for, we're approaching a year, and I have not seen any.
Have you met Ben Painter? He hangs out in the slums, like this. Like he finds the trouble, just doesn't get arrested.
Mark said, if you go out with me at night, I'll buy all your booze and the Uber rides. And I was like, okay. So I went where Mark wanted to go. And Mark was like, hey, Uber driver, where's the worst fucking place you can take us? And the Uber driver was like, let's go. Like, the Uber driver's like, I've never been here. I've been told not to go here. He dropped us off. I'm like, all right, cool.
Honda, you probably go to like upstanding places that like upstanding citizens go to. He goes to,
the other.
It's a
for the
stuff.
Harry Potter fans. He goes to Dragon Alley.
It's a paintball event. Therefore, I am there on vacation. And you don't like live your normal life on vacation. You go out and go to the things you want to do in your fantasy life. So you go to the shitty shit. Yeah.
No. That's a good way to not get to ever go do anything ever.
Half of the fun.
You got that note. I'm going to tap out of the conversation.
All right.
Hey, Scott.
Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second.
They don't care.
Me, Ben, and Scott need to dress up as men in tights.
Okay.
Let's do it.
What? It's always the gay shit. What? Why? What's the?
It's natural for him. Leave him alone.
He's funny as shit.
Hey, the Mario Brothers are coming in full setup. Apparently, they added to the family, so there's more people coming.
I can't wait.
Flynn's supposed to be King Boo this year.
That's actually one of my favorite things that we got going. Is like if you look at our registration, there on every one of them it says "Leave us a message" in a bottle. That has become my favorite thing of all time because sometimes it's, hey, make sure I'm on this team or I'm with these guys. And other times it is off the reservation, man. Like when people use that as their, I got a 100, character soundbite that I'm going to send and only Hanu's going to see it. It's pretty wild sometimes.
I know where two of the jerseys are right now. So that's all I got to say.
Where they at? Show us, Ben.
In my car trunk.
Oh.
All right, you guys have a great night. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right,
yes,
sir.
DJ. Here's Princess Peach.
Much love, guys.
Later.
Later.
So yeah.
You leaving?
Who? Me?
Oh no, Johnny's saying. All right.
Johnny should talk about recruiting for Red.
Yeah.
You got the
What do you
time,
want
man.
I don't even know who these people are. So that would be the first recruiting.
Tell people why they should play for you. I'll be back in a minute.
Why you should play for me?
Yeah. Tell them about yourself.
Because you don't want to lose?
Give me your elevator pitch. Why should I play for you?
Because if you don't, I might have to shoot you. It'd be very, very unfortunate. You seem like
Who's
nice
the other
guy.
guy? I'm gonna go join his team. Who's the other guy? That was the worst
I'm fucking
elevator
with you,
pitch
dude. I
ever.
don't know. I don't know. This is all
I'm
new
gonna
to me, man.
shoot you. Paintball event. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Somebody's got to duck. Somebody's got to get shot. It happens.
If I come home with a positive KD, I know I sucked that weekend. That
It
means I
should
wasn't
be a
doing-
good time either way.
That means I wasn't doing shit all weekend. If I come home with a positive KD.
I mean, the parking lot ain't gonna
Not you.
hold itself down.
You're always happy at paintball events.
I am. This is my fucking happy place.
I've never seen you not smile at a paintball event.
It's my happy place.
Until I steal your Princess Peach. Am I allowed to grab your Princess Peach?
You can grab her, but you can't seduce her.
What?
You can't seduce her. You can grab her, but you can't seduce her. Haven't you not seen on Facebook those Princess Peach fucking that she's a whore now? Apparently.
No.
What?
Ben, look up the Princess Peach shit on Facebook, where Luigi's telling Mario that she's a whore.
Oh,
Rob,
I have seen that. Yeah.
All right, so Rob is
She's
into
for
this
the
whole
streets.
thing where like he's gonna go on the field dressed as some kind of character, and he's not gonna fucking play the game. He's just gonna stand in the back.
He's gonna go
like,
after Princess Peach.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, let me find a photographer and take a picture of me pretending to play. That's his whole game plan for this year's game.
I mean, I will say this, and I don't want to generalize a group of people, but I feel like a lot of people, that's what they go out to do, is just let me get these badass action shots, and then like you don't see them for the rest of the weekend. And then it's like, hey man, you check what that what I did right there. It's like, no, I didn't see it. You'll see the pictures. Just wait. I took the cameraman totally got me. It's like, cool, bro. If that's what makes you happy.
It's that 15 seconds of fame, man.
I was playing.
And nobody knows
who
remembers who you were after the game.
I know.
I was playing Fayetteville one year, and like there was a big battle. There's a big firefight going in where the tower, the big main complex is, and there was a girl from a certain team who was laying on the ground posing, had her head on her elbow, like legs crossed. She was posing for like a photographer the whole time. I'm like, yeah, you're the best player out here, aren't you? I appreciate you doing that.
Be like going live in the middle of a game just to trash talk.
We caught one of the quote unquote e-celebs a few years ago. She was in the back of the field where nothing was going on, like near our spawn, pretending to shoot people. And like people are taking pictures of it. Like she's full all her gear's on. She's shooting at like I guess trees because there was nobody there at all. Like we own like half the field, so like she would have to go to like the 50-yard line basically. But she was near our spawn taking pictures. I'm like, everybody's walked by her like, okay, cool, you got some pictures. I appreciate your help. It's wild how people do it. And that's Rob right there. Like that describes Rob Maryland.
I will say there have been times where I thought I did something super badass and super cool, and it's like, oh man, I hope there's not like you'll get my fucking like arm or my sleeve. It's like, wow, I made it. My arm is in a fucking picture. I'm famous. Like look at me go. I'm a fucking badass. And then it's like everything I did. And I think there was a span of like maybe 2 years where every picture I was in, never a single action shot. It was always just me walking back because I was dead. It's like, wow, I really suck shit then.
If you go around the outsides of the field, nobody takes pictures of there. It's always towards the center.
Well, yeah, no shit. I don't walk around this. You know how much it's a further walk if you go all the way around. That's stupid.
I go
do that.
I go around because that's the fun part. But like, the only time I really wished I had a picture taken of me is when I took a referee hostage, and then like the guy across from me, he took a referee hostage. Like we were both getting threatened that if they got shot, we were going to kick out. Like that's the only time I wish that picture would have taken of me. But I was out in the middle of nowhere, so it didn't happen. But then Rob on the other hand, you'll see his picture like 70 fucking times in like 200 fucking photographs.
Fucking camera whore.
Because he's always like, oh, where's the photographer going? Let me follow him.
Let me take my picture. I'm the best.
Hey, you see what I'm doing over here? I'm shooting people.
Let me lift my gun up. Hey, look at me. Well, it's also hard to.
Hey, he's trying to be famous, guys. Give him a break.
We know. We
No,
know.
the fuck I'm not. No, the fuck I'm not. At one point I was.
Bullshit.
I'm not now.
He's taking until he makes it.
He's out there
Bullshit.
shaking hands and kissing babies all over the United States.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's kissing the babies.
Come play for me.
Let me tell you, Rob is so fucking thirsty to be a fucking E-Sleb. He made patches of himself and gave them out to people.
Dude, he was the one who started that stupid trend.
And then on top of
And
that,
then everybody started doing it after
Rob,
he
it
did
sounds
it.
like you're famous.
and then on top of that, he shows up to Fulda with the loudest fucking boombox ever, talking about, hey, you should smile. You should smile this game. Like, shut the E-Sleb motherfucker wannabe.
First off, it was called a smile taxi. Folks.
Hey, Rob, are you doing photo this year?
Yes, sir.
What side you on?
Blue. NATO.
I'll see you at the 50, buddy.
Eventually.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
You'll see
Well, like
Rob
you're
in the parking
30?
lot. You
No,
will
hell
see
no.
Rob in the parking lot.
Actually, yes, you will. Yes, you will, because I'll be in a tank.
Smart.
You'll see
Oh,
Rob
will
in the
you?
parking
Okay.
lot talking about. You'll see him
I'm
in the
doing
parking lot talking
photo.
about how
I never do photo. I'm actually doing it this year.
Well, you're in for a treat this year.
I'll reserve my
It's
judgment and my
gonna be-
thoughts on that game.
So it's gonna be a good time.
No, I don't think it is.
I will not be NATO.
It was never. It's never a good time, but it's a time. It's a time. That's how about we say it? It's going to be a time.
It's a thing.
It's
a
something
thing.
you got to experience. It's something you have to experience at least once.
I think it's
Well,
the first game I ever like.
I'll be playing with my old team that I started out with, the 13 Legionnaires, against the Nomads. The team I stopped, went and did my own team.
Is that like the modern day Carnage versus Venom? Like, is
It's got to be
Is that
interesting.
still a thing going on?
I don't think.
Yeah, there's
so
definitely a vibe there.
Carnage versus Venom is not a thing anymore because Venom has players that come to games. Carnage has Rob.
So they had their WrestleMania blow off, and now we moved on and found a new
Yeah.
feud. Huh?
Like literally, Rob is the only player that shows up to games, except for like every once in a while there will be games with 2 Carnage players.
I say Deadpool and Toad sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sometimes.
Photogap
Not a lot,
has like a total of like 6 Carnage players sometimes. Yeah, wow, but yeah, Venom definitely won the war. So I'm gonna say Venom's probably the good guys in this situation because winner's always a good guy, right? Like G.I. Joe versus Cobra, G.I. Joe always won because they're the good guys. So that means
I don't
Venom
know,
is
man.
the good guy.
They started as like the bad guys. Like they had a face turn, and they were the bad guys. Everybody hated them, and then it's like, oh man, they're actually pretty cool. I vibe with this now. And then
It's because they have.
And I left clean, and I started my own team, and I didn't scrape anybody.
Bones, we have the most. Scorched, we have the most players.
That's because you have a fucking camp that has water and power, and they stay in it the whole time.
Okay, first off, it's a fruit stand. It's not a
A
camp
fruit
site.
stand, yes.
A
You sell
fruit
apples
stand.
all weekend. It's your
Fruit's
Carnage,
important, man.
it's your Carnage fundraiser game.
Come buy some strawberries at the Carnage Shack.
We made enough
I want
money
peaches.
to send Rob to a
Fuck the
game.
strawberries.
I remember when they built that and they painted it that color, and then he was taking fish. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And now they built it for like a team of 30 people, and then like 6 people show up. Like, oh, it's so much room now.
Yeah, I know
Fucking-
that feeling.
Guess who won the war? They have a snake on their fucking jersey, not a fucking Carnage motherfucking bitch. So wait, knockoff Venom loses again. Good job, Rob.
This is my favorite part.
Rob's
It's the roast
Rob-
Rob.
I think they're both on the same side against me at Scorched Earth, though.
Well, if they are on the same side, you're probably gonna get like 10 or 15 Venom because they don't like going to Scorched Earth. So you might get 10 Venom.
I was about to say,
They don't like the game.
yeah, you'll probably see
Carnage-
like 4 or 5 of them.
Carnage,
I just hope that, look, so far I'm leading by 9 people. Right now, I'm up by 9. So I hope it stays even, so it's a good fight.
Carnage is going to show up in force, so they're bright. There might be, including
Shut the
wives,
fuck up. No, fuck you.
8 people there.
We're probably gonna. No, we got like 15.
Including wives, there's going to be 15 people there.
Yeah, wait,
I want the
how did
Venom
that
on my
happen?
side, but I can't get
There's
them
going
to
to be 4
commit.
people on the field.
You're not gonna get them to commit. They don't
Venom
mess
doesn't
with that
want
game.
to-
That's their kink. They won't. They don't stray away from the kink.
Venom doesn't want to come to that game.
It's a mission. It's a missionary only policy.
What? This is why Carnage lost the fucking war. Because of shit
No.
like that. Because of shit you said like that.
This is their
No.
representation. This is why
I
he's a
told you how.
celebrity.
I told you how to win the war. You guys didn't do it. You guys went the opposite direction and you lost. You should have listened to me. I am the
No.
fucking guru of all fucking things. Listen to me, motherfucker.
No,
Right now,
that-
if you guys would listen to me, Carnage would have 20 players every game. Ben wouldn't have anybody. But no. Don't listen to Ben.
All right, well, I'm tapping out.
All right, man.
Yeah, me too. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
You
Thank
guys
you.
later. Me and Rob
Yeah.
will talk shit.
I gotta get up early. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later on, guys.
Bye.
Later. Rob, what's up?
not shit.
Fight.
Eating a bowl of cereal.
Want to fight?
No,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
You want a trophy? I got a trophy for you.
I got a trophy for you.
No, you don't. You don't have any way to make trophies.
It's gonna be big.
I have a
And,
way to make trophies.
it's gonna be big and green.
What's green?
You'll know when you get it.
Nobody's green, dude. I don't know why you talking about green all the time for. Like, what's up with green?
You're gonna get
I heard-
the. You're gonna get the green biggest dick award.
I heard Char's a bunch of dickheads. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of old pieces of shit. Think they can play. Like, who would wear a jersey with green on it to a fucking game? This is bullshit. Like, I don't understand. Oh, all right. So anyway, so what's up? What side are you playing for? Blue still?
Yep.
So am I. Not really, but I feel like saying it. I have drank quite a bit of vodka, and I'm feeling good right now. I'm pretty sure actually vodka's low calorie, so I'm good. I thought it was over my calorie count, but whatever, I'm good. I shouldn't have drinking this damn orange crush soda though. That's probably fucking me up.
So how's my future ex-wife?
Kim is weird. I had to yell at her today.
Why?
She's being sad. I just had to yell at her.
Is
That's
that
how you treat people. What?
Is that her kink?
No, it's when people are sad, you yell at them. Like that's
It doesn't work for you.
It works for me. When I'm sad, if you yell at me, I'm not sad anymore. I've had a rough week at work this week, so I was pretty sad, but nobody yelled at me. I wish they would because I've been unsaid. But yeah, fun times, dude. Like, didn't you say you're going somewhere when I asked you about the Kill Switching Age concert? You should go to that one with us.
Probably.
We're gonna rob it. We're gonna flip with this. So let's be wild. Listen, I've never been to one of those concerts before. I'm like, well, you're gonna go one now. But I can't go hard on this one, so it's gonna be weird because like I'll still be wrapped up from the surgery. I don't think I can get in the pit. If I can't get, it'll be 11 days after surgery. If I can get in the pit, I'll go get in the pit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck my shit up. I'll cry later. But anyway, you got anything else to say about the game or anything?
Yeah, get registered.
Get registered. That is a good thing about saying get the game. And like, we may not have talked about the game too much today. Like, if anybody's still on watching, like, they want to know what the fuck Char is. All right, so you got a red team, you got a blue team. They got names. We don't do shit about the names. We got green team. Green team's Char. Char is like a separate entity that does not compete for winning or losing. They're just there to fuck shit up. And like most years, they don't really fuck shit up. They're just there. They're a bunch of old fucks that don't do anything. So that's most years. Rumor is this year may be a little different. There may be new people playing Char this year. I cannot confirm nor deny, but it may be different this year.
They're new old fucks.
Some of them may be old. We don't know yet. We don't know who's wearing green for the game. But it may be different. It may be fun. It's always fun when you go because like you got camping, you got little activities, and the game's not bad. The game's pretty well run. Like it's a nice field. And just every once in a while you run into these green guys and you can make deals with them and play. They can play with you or they can play against you. Whatever you want to do. It's a weird thing. You just gotta be careful around. If your command says, "Hey, we're cool with Char," you don't shoot them, and they won't shoot you. But most of the time they're gonna shoot you. So It's fun playing. It's fun playing with the unknowns. And they got their own rules.
It gets weird when it demands sexual favors.
Yes, but read the rules before you play the game because there's a lot of rules that you need to know.
Yep.
Especially with Char. Well, no, I don't know what to say about the game. Like, it's in a weird area. There's plenty of parking. There's plenty of camping. It's weird that like there's a cook that works in the same building where all the bathrooms are, but that's a different story. But yeah, fun times. You have anything to say, Rob?
Hell no.
Well, all I know is now that I've got this damn video figured out, the next time we do a fucking show, I have a pretty cool intro video, and we're gonna fucking play it.
Oh yeah. One more.
Oh no. I guess since I've been drinking a lot, I've got to work tomorrow, and I drank this much vodka, so that's quite a bit for a 2-hour show.
Hell yeah.
I guess we can call it 9 if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, man. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and deuces.